All right, today we're going to take an incredible journey deep inside your own body. We're going to uncover the amazing microscopic delivery surface that is literally keeping you alive second by second. Have you ever really thought about it? Or how the nutrients from your lunch are powering the muscles in your arms, like right now? It feels instant, right? But behind the scenes, there is this logistical masterpiece at work, getting all those essential supplies to trillions of individual cells. And it all happens through this huge delivery network, your circulatory system. Just think of it like a nationwide shipping company. You've got the main distribution centers, these massive freeways, and then all the tiny local roads. And they're all designed for one single purpose: to deliver the goods and pick up the trash. So this delivery route, it's genius. Blood leaves the heart through the arteries. Those are the superhighways. Then they branch off into smaller arterioles, which are kind of like the main roads that lead into a city. And then finally, they branch into the absolute tiniest vessels, the capillaries. These are the neighborhood streets that go right up to your cell's front doors. And just how vast is this network we're talking about? Get this. If you were to take all the blood vessels from just one person and lay them end to end, they would stretch for about 60,000 miles. That is enough to circle the entire Earth more than twice. It's a mind-boggling scale. So yeah, the big arteries are really impressive, but the most important work, the actual delivery and pickup, that doesn't happen on the highways. No, the real action, the magic, it happens at the microscopic level, on those tiny little neighborhood streets we just mentioned. This right here is the secret. Capillaries are so incredibly small that red blood cells have to line up and pass through in single file. And their walls, they're made of just a single layer of cells. This super thin design isn't a weakness, it's their superpower. It's what allows things to pass in and out so efficiently. Okay, so this is the core of our mystery. It's not enough to get the blood near the cells, right? You have to get the goods out of the delivery truck and into the house. So how does that actually happen? It's not as simple as you might think. Well, the whole process is driven by this constant push and pull. It's like a delicate tug of war happening across that single cell thick capillary wall. And these two opposing forces are in a constant dynamic battle. So let's break it down in a really simple way. On one side, you have a pushing pressure, kind of like water spraying out of a garden hose. And on the other side, you've got a pulling pressure, which works more like a sponge trying to soak that water back up. The balance between these two is what determines everything. Let's start with that pushing force. This is what's called hydrostatic pressure. And really, it's just the leftover blood pressure from the heart by the time it reaches these tiny vessels. It physically shoves water, oxygen, and all those good nutrients right out through the thin capillary wall. And the pulling force, that's called oncotic pressure. This one's a little different. It's created by large proteins that are just too big to leave the capillary. They're basically stuck inside, so they act like tiny magnets for water, creating this pull that draws fluid from the tissues back into the bloodstream. Okay, so let's zoom in on the start of a capillary, right where it connects to the arteriole. Here, the blood is just arriving from the arteries, so its pressure is still pretty high. And that means the pushing force, that hydrostatic pressure, is totally dominant. This first phase is called filtration. The hydrostatic push just completely overpowers the oncotic pull, and the result? A whole bunch of fluid moves out of the capillary. This is the delivery phase. This is where all the good stuff, oxygen, glucose, you name it, gets dropped off for your hungry cells. But as that blood flows along the capillary, something starts to change. Because so much fluid has been pushed out, the physical pressure inside the vessels starts to drop a lot. And now, the balance of power begins to shift. This second phase is called reabsorption. With that pushing force now much weaker, the constant pulling force from those proteins, the oncotic pressure, finally wins the battle. It starts to draw fluid from the tissues back into the capillary. And it's not just pulling in water. This is the pickup phase. It's carrying away all the waste, like carbon dioxide. So you might be wondering, what's the point of all this? It seems a little complicated. Pushing fluid out just to pull most of it right back in again. Why does the body do it this way? What's the purpose of this microscopic tug of war? Well, the point is the balance itself. The overall direction of flow, whether stuff is going out or coming in, is determined by what's called the net filtration pressure. It's this beautiful, simple system that makes sure you deliver the groceries first, and then you clean up the trash on the way out. And that really is the bottom line.
This silent, invisible exchange, happening billions of times every single second, is one of the fundamental processes that sustains you. It's how your brain thinks, how your muscles move, how your organs do their job. Every single cell is being constantly serviced by this elegant push and pull. I mean, the machinery of our bodies is it's performing countless impossibly complex tasks without us ever having to think about it. This great exchange is just one of them. It really makes you wonder, what other incredible microscopic miracles are happening inside you right now?